Hi everyone, Sarah Picaro. Today's video is inspired by my favorite narcissist. And I help thousands of people heal from narcissistic abuse, go inward and heal those inner wounds of emotional abandonment, those inner wounds of emotional neglect that not only occurred because of a narcissistic relationship, but were there prior to and led you to being in a narcissistic relationship. So my favorite narcissist on TikTok is Lee Hammock. He's also got a YouTube channel as well. The question that he answers on one of his last TikTok videos was a question that he gets asked a lot. Did he ever really love me? So inferring that this question came from a female speaking about the narcissist who was a male. Did he ever really love me? So I'm going to play his response to this, and then we're going to take a deeper dive into that. So here he is. Here's Lee, and here is the question that he answers.
Like, did the narcissist ever love me? Can narcissistic people love? And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I have narcissistic personality disorder. So typically when I get a question like this, I always answer it with another question. I always ask, how are they treating you? Are they treating you like they love you? Because in the beginning of the relationship, they were treating you like they loved you, didn't they? Because most narcissistic people think that they are in love with you in the beginning of the relationship. They really, really do. That's why they love bomb you. They think that they have found the one. Narcissists think that they have found their person in you. But eventually, they start to devalue you and take their love away from you. They emotionally disconnect from you and they start to push you away. In the beginning, they treated you totally different than how they're treating you at the end. So again, I ask people, how are they treating you right now? Or how are they treating you at the end of the relationship? Apply that standard to you, to yourself. If you were treating someone else the way that they were treating you, would you think that you love that person? Would anybody else think that you love that person if you're treating them the same way that you were getting treated? Narcissistic people's love is very, very conditional. So I'll get this question right here or something.
All right, so let's break that down because that is absolutely true. I love the light that he shined into the darkness, into people who were in that first step, in that first phase, becoming aware of the experience of their relationship with the narcissist, perhaps becoming aware that the person they're in a relationship with has narcissistic tendencies, traits, characteristics, because going even further, even deeper into healing is going beyond that first step. And he does an incredible and phenomenal job with the first step in helping people become aware by answering their questions in regards to what it's like to be in a relationship with a narcissist. He brought up many, many, many good points. So if you need to, I highly encourage you to rewatch this video or go and just follow him and watch all of his to help you answer those first questions of awareness, taking it even further, even deeper into yourself, getting out of that space of the victim mentality, the victim role, he or she did XYZ to me. If you're still in that space, if your mind is still allowing your words to use, your mouth to use those words like he or she did XYZ to me, you're still in the victim state mentality. Working together one-to-one or even going through my program, Transforming Past Pain to Present Power, is not going to be right for you at that time or at that point. But that is very important, crucial, and critical chapter or phase or stage, whatever you want to call it, to go through so that you can realize that you have a connection to that. You can connect with the inner unhealed wounds within yourself because the narcissist triggers those. Every stage and phase of the relationship with the narcissist is triggered by the narcissist. All of your inner unhealed wounds feel exposed, feel hurt, feel out there. And of course, when someone else, he or she did XYZ to me, when we have that experience, our initial gut reaction is to want that person to hurt just as bad as we hurt, because the same is true, and it's always true, vice versa, from you to them, from them to you, that hurt people hurt people. So awareness is the first step. He talked about conditional love. That conditional love is experienced in all stages and phases of a narcissistic relationship because the narcissist and you both have conditional love for themselves. And that's the problem with that type of love, is it is constrictive, it is restrictive, it is conditional. It's if this, then that. So if you XYZ, then I will show you that I love you, make you feel that I love you. And you have those inner constrictions and restrictions on yourself because of your past experiences, even long before that narcissist came into your life. They're even deeper if you had narcissistic parents, or you had parents who, or caregivers, or people that you were really close with that were emotionally unavailable, that were emotionally neglectful. Even if this narcissist is the first narcissist that you've ever been with, or that has ever made you feel that way, and those inner emotional wounds are deep, they run deep, they cut deep, and you're trying to figure this out. You're trying to understand it. You're trying to have it explained to you in a way that goes, it makes sense. But if you're with a narcissist, chances are you're not one yourself, because it's rare that narcissists are attracted to other narcissists, but the inner emotional wounds are the same. The inner emotional wounds of conditional love, of self-abandonment, of self-rejection are the same, because they both lead to being in a space of lacking compassion for yourself, lacking forgiveness for yourself. And the narcissist doesn't see that they need forgiving, or to take it even deeper, they don't believe that they're worthy of forgiving. They don't have compassion for themselves. And when we lack self-forgiveness or self-compassion, what occurs is that we're demonstrating conditional love to ourselves. And what we demonstrate to ourselves gets demonstrated to others. And the narcissist is the same. They lack self-forgiveness, they lack self-compassion, they lack self-awareness. I mean, they're aware of what they're doing. They're very, very aware of what they're doing, and they do it for a reason. And the reason is to get and maintain the source of supply that they're getting from being in the relationship. Sometimes supply is not always a relationship. Sometimes it's a status, sometimes it's money, whatever it is, they're getting something from that. And they don't forgive, they're unable to forgive themselves, or have compassion for themselves, or see any wrongdoing in what they're doing. And that creates conditions. So they're locked and trapped in the confinement and restraint of those conditions. And same can be said with the people who are with them. The people who are with them almost learn, perhaps at one time you were able to forgive yourself, you were able to trust yourself, you were able to honor yourself, you were able to let things go. But in the confines of a narcissistic relationship, you develop those traits and tendencies that you take on from being in the relationship with the other person, because of the because of the continuation of experiences with that person. You begin to question yourself, doubt yourself, second guess yourself, your thoughts, and all of the experiences that you have, you ruminate on, and then you wonder, well, if I did this, I wonder if it would have turned out differently. So you almost get locked into this internal mental state of constantly second guessing, constantly self-questioning. And there's layers to it, right? And one of the other layers is the lack of self-forgiveness, and another layer is the lack of self-compassion. Another layer is the lack of self-awareness. So you begin peeling back these layers and become aware, thankfully, to videos like Lee's that he shares. You become more and more aware, but there will get a point where you can't go further, you can't go deeper into that space of truly forgiving yourself, truly connecting to that intuition, that inner knowing, that light within you that now feels dark, that light of self-compassion. And you begin to demonstrate conditional love for yourself and become really, really hard on yourself internally and mentally, emotionally, beat yourself up to just push through and try and break through those barriers and get out of that mental prison that you get locked into when you're in a narcissistic relationship, whether it was one that was a partner that you chose, or whether it was a relationship that you had no choice in choosing because it was part of your upbringing, your parents, your caregivers, or whoever it was that had a big impact on you. Those parents and caregivers who lacked conditional or showed conditional love and taught you to lack unconditional love for yourself. So when you demonstrate conditional love to yourself, what happens is that is reciprocated. Then you expect conditional love from other people. And I talk about this all the time, that being in a relationship with a narcissist, it's your energy is magnetized to the energy of a narcissist, to someone who also lacks self-forgiveness, lacks self-compassion, lacks self-trust, lacks self-awareness, who demonstrates conditional love. And you may think, no, that's not not true. I'm not anything like the narcissist, but there's something internally that is similar, that is connected, that is energetically, magnetically attracted, because like attracts like. But you may think there are so many ways that I'm not like. So how is that true? I'm not like that person at all. I'm the opposite of that person. I'm everything but that. That may be true at some level, but to take it even further, even deeper, the core and the root level is similar. So you can put as many levels and layers as you want on top of that. But if those inner core root wounds are the same, that you don't feel that you are truly worthy and deserving of love, and you lack self-forgiveness, you lack self-compassion, you go against that inner intuition, and you go against what you know and feel and believe. And if you're truly honest with yourself, and this was a partner that you chose, not a parent, even with a parent, just a different perspective of it. If with this partner with you chose, you knew from the very, very beginning that something was off, but you stayed. You knew as a child that your parents, even though you couldn't figure out what it was, you knew that it didn't feel right. It didn't feel good inside of you. And there was that inner intuition that wanted you to speak out, that wanted you to feel safe, that wanted you to express yourself. But when you did, you were punished. And the same is true in a narcissistic relationship. Anytime you try to shine light on the truth, you're punished. You're put into a position where you experience pain, and you're belittled, you're talked down to, you're degraded, you're made fun of, you're mocked, your name is smeared everywhere. You are made to feel insignificant, small, unworthy, undeserving, that you don't matter. So you begin to get stuck in that box, or that inner prison, that mental prison. So peeling back those layers and truly connecting with that part of you that reserves and holds and houses unconditional love, and allowing that inner light to grow, allows you to get to that place first and foremost within yourself, and then with others. So we're all human, right? So we all have similarities, we all have differences, and seeing the places within you that have been hurt and wounded by either an upbringing from a narcissistic, emotionally toxic, emotionally unavailable, emotionally manipulative, emotionally neglectful relationship, or one from an experience of a partner of your choosing, right? It really doesn't matter. The outside can look the same, but the inside is what's most significantly impacted. And those inner emotional wounds are what truly need transformation, what truly need healing, if anything externally in your world is going to change. I connected with someone this morning who's 39 years old and says, Sarah, I've been living the same life for 39 years. And the crazy thing is, you want to know what's crazy? And I said, enlighten me. And he said, I expect different results by doing the same thing. And that was my response. How do you expect to achieve those results? By not going inward and healing the inner wounds, the inner core, true place of you that you're coming from, that expects everything else to change. And that's what happens in a narcissistic and toxic relationship. So awareness of it, awareness of your experience, and having those questions, did they ever really love me? Well, the love was conditional. So under the umbrella of conditional love, yeah, they loved you. They loved you as best as a narcissist can love. They loved you with restraints, with conditions, but that's not true love. That's not real love. That's not genuine. That's not authentic love. And that's not the kind of love that makes you feel loved. It may for a time, but remember, you're coming from a wounded place, whether you're coming into the relationship from a wounded place. And I've been very, very honest with myself in this journey to healing. Both narcissistic relationships that most significantly impacted me from my past, I was coming from a very wounded, very unaware place. So getting out of that and becoming aware of the experiences that you had, and that you're coming from a new place and a different place. And now you're seeing your inner wounds. Unless you're still in that victim state, he or she did XYZ to me, then you're coming from that, I want to hurt them because I want them to hurt as much as they hurt me. That's not truly the space that you can be in to hold compassion, for yourself, and truly dive into that deep end of really transforming and healing. So understand that I highly recommend that you go follow Lee if you are still in that space of needing questions or desiring questions about that to be answered. And when you're ready to take the deep dive, the journey to transforming yourself and healing those inner wounds from the inside out, right? We're not looking for external validation, understanding, or awareness. It's going within, healing from within, so that you can get to that place of compassion for yourself, trust for yourself, unconditional love for yourself, where you truly can do what everyone who connects with me says that they want to do. I want to let go. I want to feel inner peace. I want to feel a sense of freedom. I want to feel a sense of joy. I want to become that old me, that I was before I became this damaged me because of that relationship. So if that's the state and space you're in, I would love to connect with you. I'd love to see you inside of our program, Transforming Past Pain to Present Power, because the only thing that ever truly exists is this present moment. And in this present moment, you may have questions about past relationships or experiences that will really help to have answered from someone who's a self-aware, or not self-diagnosed, but a self-aware narcissist, someone who he's honest about it. He says he gets his supply by helping other people. Oh my God, how fantastic is that? Because so many people have questions that haven't been answered yet. So incredible, incredible resource to use. So go follow Lee Hammock on whatever platform you choose. And when you're ready to take that journey to do the inner work to transform and heal your life, I would love to connect with you. You can find more information using the links in the description below this video. Okay. All right. So remember to click like, subscribe, share, comment, all of those things. I love and read them all and love connecting with you guys. And just wanted to hopefully shine some light into the question that you might have. Did they ever really love me? The same can be true. The same can be said and is true for parents. If you had a parent who was a narcissist, not just a partner who was a narcissist, you can question, did that toxic, did that emotionally unavailable, did that abusive parent ever really love me? And so I hope that this helps you understand that they love you with conditions, because they love themselves with conditions. That was modeled, that was taught, that was brought into their life from somewhere and someone else. And it was simply, it's like a baton. It was handed to them and they handed it to you. So to answer your question, in short, yes, they loved you as best they could with what they have, but they have very, very little. And what they have is riddled with conditions. So much of the journey to healing isn't learning more, isn't more tips, tools, tricks, techniques. It's actually unlearning, reprogramming, deprogramming what was programmed into you because of those experiences by those people that you had those relationships with. So much of it is not more, it's actually less. Less is letting go, less is freedom, less feels lighter, less feels relieving, less feels I can finally breathe. And that is insight into what most people who work with me say they experience. They feel lighter. They feel the sense of connection. They feel the sense of freedom. They feel less anxiety. They feel less stress, less worry, all of those things. And if you want to find out what more people have said, just go to my website and click on the success stories. It's all right there from so many beautiful people that I've worked with who've committed themselves to going on this journey. So if that's the space that you're in, I would love to talk to you more about that, and see if we're a good fit to possibly work together one-to-one, or just simply dive into the program. You can go ahead and get started with that today. All right, guys, long answer to the question, did they really love me? Yes, but it was very, very limited and very conditional. So let's undo that, heal that, and transform that.